Are you serious? Are you serious? You might want to get some coffee. You don't want to miss tonight's Sunday Night Live. My guest will be BP Earthwatch. We're going to talk about 7 things. Number one, we will, not necessarily in this order, but we're going to talk about these 7 things. Trump executive orders on immigration, and those 7 nations, they're the same that Obama had already pointed out when he signed an immigration restraint in 2009. Same 7 countries. But why the backlash? Why the harassment? Why the media? Why the protest? It's off track, folks. This country's in trouble. Number 2, Comet 45P and Honda. It's approaching the Earth. It'll be here February 11th. What does this mean? What condition is the comet? Number 3, the coronal hole in the sun, Earth facing. What does this mean for potential earthquakes? Number 4, solar wind speeds. And how is that going to affect us? And number 5, and with the ultraviolet rays and with radiation. Number 5, earthquake zones to watch. Where should we be alert? Number 6, rain and snow in California, the condition of the drought. What does this all mean? And number 7, extreme weather patterns, from tornadoes to blizzards to snow and rain to flooding to landslides to everything that's taking place in the last few days. What is this all about? And we're going to talk about all of these things with Jesse from BP Earthwatch tonight. Don't miss Sunday Night Live. Sunday Night Live. Plus some guy just jumped off the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. What? Well, come on. And all the protesting in the airports and all of this craziness. And Chuck Schumer crying. There's no crying in Congress. Crying. I'll be back with more, guys. Give your life to Jesus Christ. It's insane. Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay, guys, now you know that there's an asteroid coming. Wednesday, it's going to come very close to the Earth. A near-Earth object, according to NASA, just discovered. They're calling it 2017 BX. It's 30 feet in diameter. It's 10 meters in diameter. And it's going to go whizzing by the Earth on Wednesday. You haven't heard anything about it, but check it out. I'll put the link below at spaceweather.com. Right on the chart. There it is. Also, today, we have a huge coronal hole turns toward the Earth from the sun. This hole is opened in the sun's atmosphere, and it is spewing a stream of solar wind into space. An extreme ultraviolet telescope on board NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory has captured the photograph of it on the Earth today, on this January 23rd. This is a coronal hole, a region in the sun's atmosphere where the magnetic field opens up and allows solar wind to escape. It is Earth-facing, folks. And this very gassy filled stream of gamma rays and ultraviolet rays and radiation is streaming right toward us. That means we're going to feel a lot of pressure on the planet, which could create, of course, major earthquakes and tsunamis or volcanic eruptions or power outages in some cases. But normally, power outages come from the solar flares. These are, of course, solar winds or a solar stream coming through the sun's atmosphere that has a mega hole in it, allowing it to flow right toward us. Earth-facing puts pressure on us. And we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this because in the next 24 to 48 hours, you may begin to see earthquakes popping up in different locations, which could be very, very dangerous and damaging. I'm checking right now, just so you'll know, in the last few hours. Of course, we had that 7.9 earthquake that hit Saturday night down in Papua New Guinea. But just in the last few hours, we have had a 5.1 earthquake in the northern Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a 4.5 in Alaska, a 4.3 in Pakistan, a 4.4 in Chile, and we just had a 4.7 in the Solomon Islands. And this, of course, the pressure just building, but the solar streams from this huge hole in the sun has not reached us yet, okay? So in the next 24 to 48 hours, even 72 hours, let's say, give yourself 3 days to allow this pressure to build. We'll see exactly what is going to take place from this major coronal hole in the atmosphere of the sun. And oh, by the way, the radiation levels, which you don't see, are still spiking on this planet from 2 directions. The solar minimum that the sun is in, releasing its gamma rays of radiation from the sun, and the 5 waves of energy. As wave number 2, we're in the middle of this, not in the middle, but we're now into the thrust of this second wave of energy, and it's really, really spiking the radiation levels off the charts. Last year alone, we had a 12.5 increase in radiation from the year before, off the charts. Normally, I mean, it's either the same, less, no more than a 1% ever. 12.5, and the second wave of energy is now pounding us to right now this year. So keep an eye on it, folks. We'll keep a close eye on it. We don't know. We're living in times we never thought we'd ever see. But it's all matching the biblical prophecy. You start talking about the asteroids whizzing by, the sun. The Bible said there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts will fail them for fear, for looking after those things that are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to come to pass, he said, look up, lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're living, folks, certainly in the last days. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Don't be left behind. Are you serious? Are you serious? Asteroid! I mean, how close are they going to get, folks? And when are you going to know about it? Only unless I tell you, usually. But we've got an asteroid that's going to be another near-Earth encounter. Close encounter of a deep space kind. Yes, it is. It's only 10 meters in size, but that's huge. 10 meters, 30 feet, big rock. There's a lot bigger ones. But this thing is going to come by the Earth less than 200,000 miles from the face of the Earth. In other words, closer to the Earth than the moon. Okay? Shouldn't hit us. But nobody ever tells us about it, okay? The name of this asteroid is 2017 BX. Now, it's fairly new. They just found it. At least they're giving us a little bit of a head start. It's going to happen Wednesday, January 25th, okay? Wednesday, January 25th, we're going to have this close encounter with an asteroid. But we've already been having quite a bit of activity. Matter of fact, there was 14 fireballs that broke through the Earth's atmosphere last night. So in the middle of we got 7.9 mega earthquakes going on in Papua New Guinea. We got tornadoes tearing through the southern part of America, killing 16 people in Georgia, 4 people in Mississippi the night before. We've got all kinds of different types of storms and radiation and solar flares in the sun. And I'm just saying, folks, it's just we're continuing to see extreme weather conditions. And we may have tornadoes tonight in Florida before it's all said and done. So I need you to stay awake down there in the south. Not only Florida, but maybe even back up in Georgia again. But just the southern states, stay awake. Stay awake, okay? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys about all of this tonight at Sunday Night Live. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, we're going to have a powerful program because we will be praying over special needs and special prayer requests that are taking place, and we truly want you to know that God is answering prayer in a mighty way as we pray over these needs. We're going to cover all of the different events: bus crashes, train derailments, volcanoes, tornadoes, solar flares, asteroids, earthquakes, and a whole lot more. Oh, and Madonna wanting to blow up the White House. What? Come on. Can't we ever get a break? Give your life to Jesus Christ, folks. We'll run out of time. Are you serious? Are you serious? You might want to get some coffee. You don't want to miss tonight's Sunday Night Live. My guest will be BP Earthwatch. We're going to talk about 7 things. Number 1, we will, not necessarily in this order, but we're going to talk about these 7 things. Trump, executive orders on immigration, and those 7 nations, they're the same that Obama had already pointed out when he signed an immigration restraint in 2009. Same 7 countries. But why the backlash? Why the harassment? Why the media? Why the protest? It's off track, folks. This country's in trouble. Number 2, Comet 45P and Honda. It's approaching the Earth. It'll be here February 11th. What does this mean? What condition is the comet? Number 3, the coronal hole in the sun, Earth facing. What does this mean for potential earthquakes? Number 4, solar wind speeds. And how is that going to affect us? And number 5, with the ultraviolet rays. Are you serious? Are you serious? You might want to get some coffee. You don't want to miss tonight's Sunday Night Live. My guest will be BP Earthwatch. We're going to talk about 7 things. Number 1, we will, not necessarily in this order, but we're going to talk about these 7 things. Trump, executive orders on immigration, and those 7 nations, they're the same that Obama had already pointed out when he signed an immigration restraint in 2009. Same 7 countries. But why the backlash? Why the harassment? Why the media? Why the protest? It's off track, folks. This country's in trouble. Number 2, Comet 45P and Honda, it's approaching the Earth. It'll be here February 11th. What does this mean? What condition is the comet? Number 3, the coronal hole in the sun, Earth facing. What does this mean for potential earthquakes? Number 4, solar wind speeds. And how is that going to affect us? And number 5, and with the ultraviolet rays and with radiation. Number 5, earthquake zones to watch. Where should we be alert? Number 6, rain and snow in California, the condition of the drought. What does this all mean? And number 7, extreme weather